Do you normally work with physicians when you're treating your clients?
Absolutely, I certainly can. If they come on the recommendation or the referral of a physician, I certainly maintain correspondence and open conversation with the physician to direct care for the client if they are welcome to that. Sometimes a client might come in with fibromyalgia or myofascial pain that's been undiagnosed, and I might suggest that they go and see a physician that is savvy.
Okay, I know you have some confidentiality with your clients, and I know you've probably seen a lot of clients over the past 10 years, but can you give us like maybe one or two examples of clients that you've worked with, what kind of pain they came in with, what you did to treat them, and what the results were?
Sure. The case that stands out most for me in my years of practice is a woman who came to me on a referral of a family member. Mm-hmm. She was experiencing migraine headaches for 9 months, and she had gone through an entire battery of tests, including neurological, and they couldn't find any cause for the pain. Mm-hmm. So when she came in, she rated her pain out of 9 out of 10. We did some basic range of motion, checking what was tight. We did a detailed pain map to see what parts of her head were experiencing pain. She left her first visit at a 2 out of 10, which I thought was quite remarkable. And she thought so too. And we probably did a total of only 4 sessions. We got her to a 1 out of 10, and that's where she stayed. So that was a pretty good success case.
Wow. So she went from a 9 out of 10 after having a headache mm-hmm. for what you said 9 months. After 1 session, she went to a 2 out of a 10.
Mm-hmm. And when she came back for the second visit, I think she had gone back up to maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10. Uh-huh. But she never got back to 9.
And how do you remember? I know it's probably testing your memory, but do you remember how long it was in between that first and second session when she went from the 2 back up to the 4 or 5?
I typically recommend a week in between, and she probably lived about 25 miles from the office, so it wasn't terribly convenient for her to get in. So I think that was a once a week kind of setup.
Okay, so in the course of a month, her coming once a week for 4 times, she went from a 9 out of a 10 to a 1 out of a 10?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's fabulous. Yeah. And did she keep up maintenance treatments, or she was...
You know what, she comes in occasionally, and it's funny because now when she comes in, she's more for a relaxation massage, which is excellent. It's nice to be able to offer the spectrum.
Were you able to, in your palpation and evaluation, were you able to kind of tell what caused her headache for that long of a time?
You know what? It's hard to sometimes nail down the cause, but I could definitely see what was involved at the time. You know, a lot of neck musculature, the tiny suboccipitals, the tiny scalene. There was a lot of stuff involved in what she was truly experiencing, cluster headaches. So she had a lot of things involved. It certainly wasn't clear cut.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll just tell you a short story. From the time I was 19 until I went to massage school, I used to suffer from migraines pretty tremendously. And the chiropractor that I saw thought it was because of an accident that I had, that my mom, not me, I wasn't driving, I was only, I think, 8 years old at the time, but it lived with me that long, and my migraines would be so bad, sometimes they would last 2 and 3 weeks at a time. But I was in massage school back in 1999, and the class is 6 months. You're getting massages every day for 4 times a week, and after massage school, I haven't had migraines since. So not that they were doing myofascial trigger point therapy in massage school, but just getting those muscles to relax, and it's really quite wonderful. So 4 sessions is amazing. Did you have another example that you can share with us?
Oh, gosh. I just had a guy today, actually, who came in. He's a brand new client. Uh-huh. He found me through the phone book or the internet or some bizarre source. Typically, my clients come on referral. But he found me, and he came in. He was playing tennis, an older fella, 75. He was playing tennis, and he flew into a hole, and then he flew across the room, indoor tennis. Oh, wow. And he was experiencing a lot of back pain. So we did some trigger point work on intercostals, pecs, interscapular stuff, lumbar muscles, QL, glutes, things like that. He left he left feeling pretty good, and it wasn't a true trigger point session, but we did a lot of those components to help out.
Okay, so he was in a lot of pain and left feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to come back next week, and hopefully his pain level will stay down. I mean, it certainly can go back up a bit between sessions, but hopefully it'll stay down. When you're working with older people, it's a little tougher. Their muscles have better memory, and, they're set into their postural patterns, so hopefully that what we did today will stay with him, because a big part of what I try to do is educate clients through stretching, exercise, home care, telling them to use some heat, and different things like that.
What kind of homework would you give a typical client?
Typical myofascial client would definitely receive some stretching instruction to keep the muscles elongated that we worked on that day. They may receive some sort of ergonomic support. Like we might talk about how their computer is set up, or where their television sits, or how they hold their phone. There are lots of different things that we'll speak about ergonomically. We might address posture, or perhaps the shoes they wear. If it's a plantar fasciitis case, we'll address their shoes. Homework for everybody is drink plenty of water, make sure you're eating well. If you're not eating well, take a multivitamin to make sure that your body has what it needs to heal itself.
Do you have a way for people to get in touch with you?
The best way to get a hold of me is through the website, Cheney'sNatural.com. There's a contact us page there.
I was looking at your website. You have a couple of downloadable documents. Can you tell me a little bit about those? I know it's a great resource for people who are interested in myofascial trigger point therapy.
I sure can. On the homepage, there are a couple stretching worksheets, and they're broke up by region of the body, so upper body, lower body, legs, arms, and hands. You can download and print those off. They give you some pretty generic stretches. It's nothing new or super creative. They're just pretty standardized stretches that help regionally. If you venture into the services pages, it talks about a couple of the different types of services we offer. And exclusively for including myofascial trigger point therapy. And there's a nice explanation of what trigger point therapy is, how it works, and there is a little image on there, a graphic that shows the pain cycle, which is nice because it's ringing.
Your computer's talking to you. Hello.
The image, the pain spasm pain illustration, is nice because it shows how these cycles begin and how they continue to perpetuate themselves if the cycle isn't broken somewhere. So when you're in spasm, you have pain. When you're in pain, you have more spasm. It just continues to go around and around and around until something breaks the cycle.
Okay. And now, what if somebody's not in Pennsylvania? Is there like a national directory of people who have studied myofascial trigger point therapy?
Yes, there is a very nice website, myofascialtherapy.org. Okay. And on that website, there's a symptom checker. You can click on that button, and it will take you off to another part of the site, which looks at it's a person, it's a body, and you can click on which region of the body you have pain, and it shows you different things, different muscles that might be causing your pain. So that's a nice tool to use, and you can also print those things off and take them to your physician or your massage therapist. Okay. If you're looking for a trigger point therapist in your area, they also have a therapist locator button on that page, so you can look up someone in the U.S. that might be close to you.
I will put links to both your website and the national website below this show so that people can click on those easily and be able to find you. And I wanted to thank you very much for being our first guest on Massage Unwrapped.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Linda Roysum, your host of Massage Unwrapped, and I will see you next time. And that wraps up our very first issue of Massage Unwrapped. Again, I'd like to thank our show sponsor, Jeff Gold Music, at www.jeffgoldmusic.com.